class at arm wrestling. I nailed them. But by the time I got to college, I got really sick of being called he because it made me feel kind of ashamed and not so attractive. So I came up with this great plan. I would go out and I'd buy a lot of like really sexy, feminine clothes that were like short and kind of revealing, and that would, you know, help me with this problem. But I would go out shopping, and instead of going to like trendy female stores, I'd end up in like thrift stores. And instead of buying like sexy short skirts, I would end up buying overalls. So my plan didn't go as I had hoped, and I sort of was getting an F- in college in femininity. And this all changed when I met Clint. See, Clint was not your average gender studies professor. In fact, he was a hitchhiker I picked up on I-70 going towards Memphis, and he was a little dirty, and as soon as I picked him up, I regretted it. He got in the car, and I started thinking about the only ways that this could end would maybe be murder, or rape, or mugging would probably be the best one. So we're driving along, and I realize not only is this a bad idea, but he's also the worst listener I've ever met, or else on a lot of drugs, because he asks me the same 3 questions over and over and over again. He's like, well, what do you do? I said, well, I work at a bronze foundry. What is that? It's where you make statuary out of bronze. But what do you do? I work at a bronze foundry. And what is that? And it went on and on like this. I won't bore you because I sure was. So the conversation proceeded, and he says, are you gay? And I was so surprised I answered yes automatically because it was true. And I then thought, shit, why did I tell him that? Now I'm going to have to add hate crimes to my list of possible endings to this journey. This is horrible. Then he leans way back at the window, and he kind of sucks his teeth. He says, dude, I thought you were a chick, dude. Yeah, I get that a lot. Yeah. But dude, you even got hair like a chick, dude. At this point in my life, I had a shaved head that was dyed blue with 2 little pink ponytails coming, and a heart shaved in the back that was dyed red. It was really cool. And I said, yeah, well, I'm a gay artist, so that's how we roll. And he says, but dude, you don't even have any facial hair, dude. You've only got peach fuzz. I said, yeah, all the men in my family, it's a genetic thing. So we're driving, and he says, this is so funny, this is hilarious. I'm gonna have to tell the men back at home. I cannot believe, when I got in the car, I thought you were so hot. I thought you were such a hot chick, but dude, you are a dude. And I was beginning to identify with this character, this gay male artist that I had created. I was kind of offended, you know? Like, was I not man enough for him? So then he says, do you have a boyfriend? And I say yes, because it was true. And then he says, are you loyal? And I realized 2 things at that moment. One was that I hadn't solved any problems by pretending to be a boy. In fact, I probably added to them, and it was going to make a great headline news tomorrow, but that wasn't going to help me at all. And 2, that there existed a human being who could have no idea what your gender was and still find you attractive. So we're pulling up to the destination, and I'm like looking at my wallet, and I'm looking at him, and I'm coming up with like really ineffectual battle plans involving like elbows and teeth to like stop him from trying something with me. And he gets out, and he opens the door, and later I would realize that he had stolen from me. He stole my assumptions about gender and about attraction, and that later I would end up dating 2 trans people and identify as one myself, and I would let go of all this need to be like he or she, and I wouldn't really care what people called me because I would be really okay with who I was. And Some people go to like great high mountains to find their yogi teachers, but mine came in the form of this dirty old dirt ball I picked up on I-70, and as he slammed the door, Clint leaned his head back in the car and he said, "Dude, you should have been a chick, dude."